So I feel all of that manual work is already being done by this client hub.
Wow, 300 to 400 hours a month.
Yes, across 17 account managers.
That's still crazy.
Welcome to the Happy Clients Podcast, brought to you by Dot and Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to happy clients.
E2M is a proud sponsor of the Happy Clients Podcast. If you're running a digital agency, you know the hardest part isn't getting clients. It's delivering consistently without burning out your team or hurting margins. E2M helps agencies scale confidently as a behind-the-scenes, white-label fulfillment partner. From web development and SEO to paid media, US-based content, e-commerce, and even AI, they plug into your agency so your clients get great results under your brand. No freelancers, no chaos, just reliable delivery that helps you keep clients happy and growing. Find out how E2M can support your agency at e2msolutions.com/dot. Welcome back to the Happy Clients Podcast. Today, I am interviewing Khushbu, who is the COO at E2M Solutions, where she leads sales, operations, and AI. She has over 8 years experience in the agency world, so she knows exactly how messy operations can get. She's built over 100 AI automations for agencies, from internal workflows to client-facing solutions, and she's always sharing these real-world practical solutions with agency owners on podcasts and speaking engagements. She also runs a AI bootcamp helping agency owners confidently position and sell AI services to their clients. I'm so excited to welcome Khushbu to the Happy Clients Podcast. Let's get into today's episode. Just wanted to talk all things AI because I know a lot of people are curious about how account managers specifically can use it, but also I think account managers are nervous, is AI going to take my job?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I feel, but I guess all the advancements that we are seeing in AI, it's more or less just reducing the manual work. It's not replacing the human touch or the human interactions that we always have with the clients. So if I think from an account manager lens, the kind of relationships we have with the clients, the way we go above and beyond to serve those clients, the way we read in between the lines, the way we think that is this a good decision for the business, is this not a good decision for the business. So I feel we look at a 360-degree perspective rather than just focusing on a project or a task. Whereas AI right now, I feel it's just doing the surface level manual work. It would generate the reports for you. It would make the data easy for you. It would code for you, or it would just go and kind of write the content for you. But then what happens after that is produced or after that report is done? We will still need account managers who would go and communicate that, or who would make and add some value to that and then share it across with the clients. So I feel AI is definitely here to stay for sure. But the way I see is it's here to help account managers to be more productive and then be more valuable as well. So think an SEO account manager, they had to do the client calls, they had to prepare the strategies, they had to go and do the reporting, they had to go and coordinate with the team. But now if you see, the same account manager has tools that they can use to just do this better, to do this job better. So I always see it as a productive enhancement tools rather than something to be more fearful about.
You answered my question. I love it. So obviously, Khushbu, you're working at kind of the intersection between operations, sales, AI, account management as the COO. When you look at that account manager seat specifically, where do you think AI can make the biggest practical impact within agencies right now?
The most practical impact I see is increasing the efficiency. If you look at the development level, or if you look at the execution level, be it it's SEO, it's branding design, or it's development, that's where I see the maximum impact is, because the models and the technology that we have so far is able to do, I would say, 60 to 70% job precisely the way that, we have been doing. So now we have the same team, but probably they just produce 3x to 4x more than what they used to produce. So now instead of increasing the headcount, like you can increase the business, but then the same team will be able to produce more. So that's the impact that I'm seeing right now. It's like you're able to get more sales, you don't have to increase the headcount, you don't have to think about, I would say, managing people or managing more people. It's all about training the team on how do they leverage AI. So that level, I feel, where it is development and the execution, that is where it is affecting the most right now. And in terms of affecting, like, it's increasing the efficiency.
So you're seeing agencies take on more business because of AI versus scaling back on their team.
That's right. Yeah.
That's really good to hear, because I know a lot of people are feeling, what's going to happen to my job? Are things going to be shifting? But it sounds like people are just getting more efficient. Agencies are growing because of AI, and margins are getting better. Profitability is going up. Yeah. So that's a very positive outlook of kind of what you're seeing. From an account manager's seat, when they're looking at their day-to-day role, what would you say the biggest opportunity is for an account manager specifically? So in their day-to-day, what should they be implementing today that's going to actually change their role?
Right. So there are a lot of things that could be implemented at account management level, and we'll just start by simply using, like, I personally use Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and then Claude. And the way I feel, the way I work has changed a lot after using Claude Cowork. Now, what is Cowork doing for me is, I have my emails connected. I know there will be a debate on should you connect your emails or not, but then you can have like a global setting where you can set your own guardrails and say what kind of, I would say, prompt injections should not be there, the security you can tighten. So there are ways where you can make sure that, data is kind of not going outside of the LLM models. But yeah, I've connected my Gmail, I've connected my Slack, I've connected Notion, like pretty much I've connected all the tools that I use. And then you can set up like a daily triage. So I have like an email triage that runs for me, which would go and label my emails. Where is this just an information? Is it this something I have to respond? Or if I'm missing out on a follow-up, they'll just send me a notification that, hey, you're missing out the follow-up. Now, if there is an email that I need to go and reply to, probably it's just going to look at all the context of that email and have the draft ready. So now I might have to just go and edit it, or if it's not up to the mark, I'll just go and kind of rewrite it. But now in the beginning of my day, like I have a Notion dashboard, which is also connected to Cowork, which sends me like, these are the emails you should be looking at. Like out of the 50 Slack messages you got, these are the 10s you should be focusing on. Like based on the call schedule you have today, these are the preparations you need to make. So I feel that if we utilize the available tools, which is Cowork right now, I would say it's doing 80% of an executive assistant's job, where you just have to connect the right tools that you use. And it's not even, I would say, super technical as well. It's just about figuring out, okay, how can email, I would say, segmentation or filtering would be done right? How do I do my Slack messaging done right? And then if you have like different accounts, just have folders of those different accounts on Claude projects. So you have like one project for all of your clients. And then all the information about that client goes in there. So you start building the context around that client. So now next time when you use an LLM model, it's not just giving you the answer based on, I would say, the copy and paste that you do. Because you have specific projects for specific clients, it's going to give you, I would say, more context generated responses as compared to just plain responses.
So are your account managers using Cowork for all their client Slacks, Gmails, like across all accounts?
Now that's a great question.
Are you just using it internally?
Yeah, I'm using it right now. Not all the account managers are using it because I personally wanted to test it for like a month to see what kind of security concerns may arise, what kind of tools I can connect it to, what are the different ways I could connect the tools to. So We haven't rolled out to all the account managers yet, but we do have a system that we created for account manager, which is like a whole client hub, which is like a custom application we developed using AI. So what happens there is after every Zoom call that they go into, there's a Fathom, I would say, they kind of record the call on Fathom as well. So now the Fathom link directly goes to the client folder on that client hub. It generates the transcript, it generates the meeting minutes, it generates the action items, it generates the analytics, like what's the churn of this client, if there are any opportunities, it kind of creates out that as well. So now as an account manager, you don't have to do the heavy lifting of going and doing those things yourself. Now you have a dashboard where you just go and look at these opportunities. And then if you want to add a task, there are tasks that are created out of the call. So now you can just go modify the task and then add to the PM tool. So that's something that we've already rolled out for the account managers. And that I would say that alone has saved like more than 300-400 hours of the team's time every month. Like they used to create reports for the renewals, the hourly usage, what does that pattern look like, if the pattern is dropped, any upselling opportunities, cross-selling opportunities. Like this is all data heavy job, which they had to do like at the end of the month, go through all the reporting of the subscriptions and hours and what are the projects we worked on, create these reports. So I feel all of that manual work has, already being done by this client hub.
Wow. 300 to 400 hours a month?
Yes, across 17 account managers.
That's still crazy. That's insane. So are you still using a project management tool plus the client dashboard?
Yes, client dashboard is connected to the project management tool. So once the action items and the to-do list is generated, you can just click a button and then it just gets added to your PM tool.
And so is this tool able to identify things like scope creep or project risk, those kind of things?
Scope creep, I would say yes, if it was discussed on the call. If the scope was discussed on the call, it would identify scope creep as well. But if it was not discussed on the call, probably you might have to just copy paste the scope of work that was already approved. And if there is anything that was discussed outside of that scope on the calls, it would just identify it. So yeah, scope creep, yes. And what was the other thing?
Like project risks. So like if things are off track or running behind.
Yeah. So the way we have done right now is we have like a GitHub account associated to it as well. So for every push request, we kind of map out if we had like 4 push requests yesterday, what was the amount of code written? And if we have 1 push request today, what's the amount of code written? Now we have like a whole project timeline as well. So now based on the Git repo, like the code that we see on the Git repo, it kind of tracks the progress of the project. So if it's out of the timeline in terms of if it's like week 1 and we have not even completed page 1, then there is like a risk. So we'll have like a risk tag on the project that, okay, we are not going based on the timeline, or there is something off that's going on.
Wow. And this is a custom tool.
Yes, it's a custom tool.
You've built. Okay.
So I would say there's limited AI in it, but then we fully used AI to build this tool.
Is that something that account managers out there could do on their own, or is that something they would need help with?
That's a tricky question. Like they can build something of their own, but it's going to take them like a lot of time to create something like this. So yeah, they might need some technical help to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I put myself in these shoes, and me trying to keep up with AI, I can't. I can't stay on top of it. So that's why we're talking to people like you. You mentioned cross-sell and upsell opportunities. So how is AI able to help you with that? And what opportunities have you seen come to fruition from these AI spotting opportunities out there for you?
Now, if you see the sales call, like the first sales call that happens, like you will not go and share like all the service areas that you provide. The first sales call is always going to be about the primary service line that the client is interested for. So now it's account manager's responsibility to make sure that the entry point was one service, but then this client could use like all the different services that the agency is providing. So now what we do is we do have like a scrapping tool which goes and scraps out all the services that this agency is doing. So now the agency entry point could have been WordPress, but now we know the agency is also doing SEO, agency is doing content, and it is doing branding as well. So now on the dashboard itself, before the call, like whenever the account manager sees the client on the dashboard, the client account manager would know that, hey, I have like an open SEO and a content and an AI opportunity that I could go and pitch to the client. Now, every time a conversation happens about the project or something, like you'll just have like a pop, I would say, just like a pop-on notification which says that, hey, there was something SEO which was mentioned. You can send this case study to the client. So it also sends you a notification based on the transcript that there was some mention of the other service. So it's good to share this use case study. Like we have like all the references where AI could just go and pick based on this conversation, go and send this reference.
Wow. And have you seen results from that? You've seen clients come on for other services because of those actions?
I wouldn't say it was just AI. Like client account managers were already doing that. We had a metrics which would go and track everything. So I wouldn't say that all the change that we are seeing right now is just because of AI going and tracking it. But I would say yes, it is giving good insight to account managers. Like they don't miss out anything now because they don't have to go through all these different documents.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that the cross-sell was because, AI suggested it. It was all account manager's job. Like they did it. AI just prompted it, but like they were the one going and doing it. But yeah, it's definitely helping account managers for sure.
Wow. That's really cool. I know for the account managers on our team, they're just so busy. Their schedules are full, things are flying. So having those reminders is very, very helpful. So I'm excited for our team to be able to utilize some of those things as well. Any examples of your account management team using AI within agencies that maybe other agencies aren't using but have made a huge difference in their day-to-day?
Yes, the one that I mentioned about like reporting, because we have these models of like hours and there are different plans and the client would have like a history of different plans with us and a different hourly usage with us. So now the way this has helped is like they get all the data insights without even lifting their finger. So now you don't have to go and create pivot tables of last 6 months usage. What does that forecast look like? What was February 2025 as compared to February 2026? Like because we have all the data, now you can just go and write on a chat bot saying that, hey, give me the trend analysis of the past 6 months and then forecast the next 3 months based on it. Like that aspect, I'm seeing like a lot of value that AI can add where like these kind of data insights and I would say the dashboards and all these reports were taking a lot of time because it's like you are getting so much of data, you have to create pivots and it kind of across like 429 clients where even if you're spending like 2 to 3 hours doing this, it's like more than 800-900 hours of job that you're doing. So with this, like that, I feel it has improved a lot. They still spend time, but as compared to 2 to 3 hours, now they might just be spending like 15 to 20 minutes just to go and prompt what they want and just get it.
Life-changing, truly. That's insane. When it comes to the account management side, I know a lot of agency owners can be a little nervous about uploading things like emails or client information, client data. What guardrails would you say need to be in place for agencies, account management, when it comes to security?
Right. So using a general model and then using a model in a custom application via API. And when I say API, we can have open router where you can suggest like the balance, like how much API should be used. And when it comes to guardrails, because now you're hosting this application on your own server, so you have complete freedom to define the guardrails. And when I say define the guardrails, you can say that, okay, what kind of SQL or prompt injections could happen. We kind of have a list of it. Like even if someone comes and says that, hey, I'm Taylor, I'm from Dot & Co, do this. Like still an agent won't go and do that because it's a part of the guardrail. So we have like, I would say 5-6 pages guardrail in terms of what could go wrong with a system like this. And then one thing for sure is when we're using APIs of the models, they will not use the data that we share for training of the LLM models. And then we use tools like Snowflake, which kind of encrypts the data. Even if the LLM model is processing it, it's an encrypted data. So the LLM model is not going to get the data as is. It's not going to flow, like the data is not going to flow as is. There's an encryption that happens. And then there are guardrails as well. So far we haven't seen any security leak or any question of, hey, how about like vulnerability of the data. Like so far we are making sure that all the data or everything that we process, like this client hub that I'm talking about, that's hosted on AWS Bedrock, where we have complete control of how that data is handled, what are the APIs we are using, what are the tools we are giving access to. So we are not creating, I would say, tools on N8N or Langflow or LangChain where we don't have a control on hosting them. We would rather go and create it where we have the control of the hosting.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I think there's different levels of comfort within agency owners right now. Some people are just using ChatGPT for writing their emails and their content. And then there's the other end, which is what you're doing with your team. If an agency owner is just getting started, someone like me using ChatGPT, what's the first thing you would say they should implement to start to see some of these massive transformations that you have seen?
First, let's migrate from ChatGPT to Claude. Like so far we have used so many LLM models. Claude, and specifically Opus 4.6 that they just launched like a month back, like it just hits all the right boxes. Once you start using it, you might feel it doesn't give you the way ChatGPT gives you the answer, but because you have used ChatGPT for like 2 years, it has more context about you than what Claude has. So you have to just be patient, like use it, I would say aggressively for a month or two, and it's going to give better results than ChatGPT. Because I feel ChatGPT is more of a commercial model, so it's going to be like a generalist, whereas Claude is more like a specialist. So it could do critical thinking, logic-based algorithms, like reporting. As an agency owner, if you want some data, then I feel the precision of this model, like this LLM model, is far more than any of the LLM models that I've seen. So first thing is Claude. The second thing is making use of the skills on the Claude. So now they have just launched skills. So you just need to add the connectors like finance skill, data analysis skill, HR skill. So these skills are again going to help you define how you could do your job better. So if you want like an offer letter to be written and then you have a template of it somewhere on your computer in a folder, you just give access to that folder and just say that, hey, this is an offer letter to X, Y, and Z for this position. So now Claude Cowork would go ahead and do that for you. So now you don't need any technical expertise to do that. It just gets you the way you want it just by adding those connectors. So I feel exploring Claude, because it has so much in it now, like that would be the first step.
Easy. I just open it up on my computer. I'm like, okay, switching to Claude. That's super helpful. I think for most of us agency owners we're nervous about AI. You know, it's not just, is this going to change our industry, but it's, I can't keep up. I can't learn fast enough. I don't have the time to invest. What would you recommend for somebody who is in that position?
I would say honestly, things are going to change, and they are changing at a speed that it's hard to keep up with. But if you see the real world applications of all of those things, that's emerging very slowly. So if you see in the agency space, like I talk to so many agency owners, like everyone is at the level where, you know, you are still figuring out agents and automations, which is okay because things are changing, but then there will be teams who will be responsible to do that. So I guess as an agency owner, the advantage that you have is the knowledge that you have about your agency, the service line and the niche that you are into. AI is not going to be able to replace that. So that compounding is still going to be there with you. Now these AI systems are going to help you probably do more of that compounding or the information or the knowledge that you have about the niche. So I've seen agency owners thrive when they keep their specialization the way it is and just add AI to it. Like for you, an example, like account management is your niche, like it's a specialization. So now all we talk about is how do account managers use AI? So it has nothing to do with development or design or anything that's happening around in the world around coding and AI. Like all we focus on is like how account managers would use AI. So same goes for agencies. Like whatever they are doing, we just need to focus on that thing and then how to use AI to double down on that.
That's a good perspective, because I think we don't need to be scared of it. We need to just look for ways to use it in our day to day. And there's a million ways you can. So you don't need to use them all today. You just need to find a couple little tweaks that are going to make a huge difference. I'd love to hear from you a little bit about Vistara that's happening very soon. Where can what are they going to learn when they come to this event, and who should be signing up?
Yeah, so for all the agencies who want to stay ahead of the curve and who want to see the real, I would say, life applications of AI, where it's not just theory about AI is changing and this is how it's changing and then these are the tools, like that if you're just looking for the theoretical stuff, probably Vistara is not for you. But if you are an agency owner who's looking to kind of see hands down applications of AI or seeing how AI is actually used by agencies, what an AI forward agency looks like, what are things differently that they are doing. If you are an agency who's kind of looking forward to know more about that thing, Vistara is for you. So Vistara, Taylor, is I would say we did that in last September and now we're doing this again. So it's more of bringing it back to the community, that what's happening in the agency space. Like last time when we spoke, we showed about like 10 use cases and demos, and then there were wonderful speakers talking about how AI is changing the space. And then it had implications and applications of it. So it's not going to be like you go away with becoming overwhelmed that, hey, there's so much and I need to go and catch up with it. It's like, step by step, like, hey, this is how I implement it. This is what I do next day. This is how my team adapts it. So it's a structured implementation and use cases that you'll see what agencies are kind of looking for. So if you're an agency owner who wants to know what's happening in the AI space, how AI is being integrated into the agency space, then Vistara is for them.
Amazing. I'm excited. I'm going
awesome
this year, and I'm excited to just be there and to soak it all in and to learn so much. And I love how it's very hands-on and very specific, and it's not, it's not ideas, it's actual implementation strategies so that agency owners can walk away with how to turn this into action the next day, which is cool. And for the agency owner who doesn't see a world in which they're going to be doing this themselves or their team, E2M has launched AI services. Can you give us a quick glimpse into what that looks like?
So we just launched these services, I would say, a year and a half back. Like it just started as like we were speaking a lot about AI and then how do you integrate AI, and then we had agencies coming like, we love all what you speak, but we don't want to do that. And I'm like, that's a great opportunity because we would love to do that for agencies. So that's how we started this journey, as in creating this whole AI services and then helping agencies. So we have like an assessment and blueprint program where if you don't know where you want to start or what you want to do, we would go and assess your business with the lens that you have. We would find out opportunities to help you be more efficient, grow more revenue. And then you choose as an owner that out of these 10 opportunities, what are the ones that you want us to work on? And then we help you execute it, build it, and manage it as well. So we have like a fractional AI service where we help you assess, blueprint, and then execute.
Hands down, that's what I'm doing. Well, we've already seen it at DOT since working with E2M. They've come in and just made some small changes that have made a huge difference. So highly recommend to anyone who is overwhelmed with the implementation, definitely reach out to Khushbu and her team at E2M about the AI service. Well, thank you, Khushbu. This was super interesting. I learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone listening is excited about the opportunity of using AI within the account manager role. But I'd love to hear how agency owners can learn more from you, because you're a wealth of knowledge, and I know you're sharing a lot out there about AI. So where can people find more about what you're up to?
Probably on my LinkedIn. So we do a lot of webinars. Like every week there are at least like a couple of webinars. We do Scale with E2M Bootcamp series where we help agency owners kind of who are looking to pivot to providing AI services. We help them pivot to providing AI services, helping them sell more AI as well. So they can just find everything on E2M Solutions website, or they can just connect with me on LinkedIn. That there they'll see kind of everything that I'm up to.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you, Taylor.
Khushbu, and I can't wait to see you at the
Yes,
Stara.
looking forward to meeting you.
Cheers to happy clients.